Does the world of wellness have a diversity issue? Hi, this is Jovanka from JovankaCiares.com. And if you don't know me, I am a registered herbalist, a nutrition educator, a wellness coach, an author, and a wellness expert. And I do believe that there is a big diversity gap in the wellness world. If you attend a yoga class in places like New York or California or Los Angeles, or if you go to a health and wellness conference or a big event, you will most likely see a very homogeneous pool of humans, mostly women, mostly white. And if you go to a certain set of conferences or events, you might even be offered classes or services or products that only a few can afford. The diversity issues aren't just limited to the audience. If you look at the makeup of the elite wellness expert pool, right? Those people that are on TV, that have big fancy podcasts or big fancy social media platforms, they are also relatively homogeneous. And that does not mean that there aren't a plethora of diverse talent in wellness. I personally know a handful, but the industry had not yet fully tapped into that particular pool of black and brown experts and elevated those voices to the detriment, in my personal opinion, of everyone that's looking for alternatives to become healthy and stronger. I am a black woman, I am a Latina, and I am a wellness expert. So my mission has always been, since I started working in this world, to inspire especially the communities that I belong to embrace these practices, because they had such a positive impact in my life, and I see it with my clients every day. And my goal has always been to bridge the gap between the world of wellness and the black and brown communities by reminding them of these wellness practices and the common history that they have with these practices. So if you look at some of the practices that are really popular today, like yoga, like meditation, those were developed in parts of the world where people are brown. North Africa, Middle Africa, Asia, India, Southeast Asia. If you look at things like what we know today as plant medicine, Western herbalism, the people that originally ate mostly plants, and so this whole concept of the popularity of plant-based diets and eating mostly plants, and some of the supplements and nutrients that we consume today that we consider to be super fancy, things like maca, for example, or cacao, all came from South America, from people of color. So I want my communities to be excited about that history, because it is part of their ancestry, it is part of our history, our ancestry, and we can reclaim it so that we can then reclaim a state of wellness. So I talk a lot about this concept of reclaiming wellness from a two-side point of view. I left my job as a VP in a multinational corporation years ago, and I've been coaching people from all over the world, from all walks of life. I talk either online or in person every single day to every single week. And one of the things that I hear, especially when I see communities of color, when I see audiences of color, is they tell me, I love that you look like me. And to you, that might sound like an inspiring thing to say. To me, it's a little disappointing and troubling. It reminds me of something that Michelle Obama said, a comment about how important it is to have leaders that look and sound like us. And she talks about not underestimating that vision, because you can do something because somebody told you. But imagine if that somebody was someone like that looked at you. You have seen it. You have experienced that someone that looks like you and sound like you do something. And so what an amazing thing, I can do it as well. So a lot of these platforms and concepts and products and services are cost prohibitive for a lot of people, especially communities of color. And it doesn't really matter how amazing a diet and lifestyle is. It is worthless if people cannot use it, especially the people that need it the most. So I decided to split my time between coaching clients and then offering classes and workshops at low to no cost in an effort to educate and inspire my communities across the country and hopefully eventually across the world. The one thing that triggered this the most was the top of the year 2020, when these disparities about healthcare access, nutrition education, access to healthy food choices came to a head in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic. We saw that minority communities, especially African American and Latinx, were getting sicker and dying at a higher rate than their white counterparts. And one can argue that there's a system of inequality, poverty, lack of access to healthcare, and healthier food choices, and this concept of food deserts that are making these demographics more susceptible and suffering from preventable diseases and now COVID, but that is not acceptable. And I do recognize that long-term solutions are going to take time and they're going to require major changes in public health policies, in socioeconomic development, in laws. But we cannot wait for politicians to start doing their part and for the laws to change. There is much that can be done by a lot of people in the wellness community to get people excited about this concept of reclaiming wellness. So the idea is that eventually this concept of reclaiming wellness will be so widespread that even sponsors can actually get behind it. And eventually these classes and these initiatives are offered for no cost or very low cost to everyone that needs and want them across the world. And the idea is to offer things that are simple, easy to follow, no nonsense blueprints to help people incorporate these practices into their daily and wellness routine. So my hope is that the wellness community, especially wellness experts, regardless of the color of their skin and their creed, become allies in this quest to diversify the world of wellness. I think it's a crucial and an important opportunity to positively affect the growth and increase the positive impact while enriching the lives of many. And I certainly hope that you can help me by spreading the word about the concept of reclaiming wellness. If you are interested in learning more, you can just click the link below to get to the page where I offer my classes and learn a little bit more about this idea that I have about reclaiming wellness. In the meantime, I wish you well and health and happiness. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon.